Hey everyone, my name is Apollo. I'm the designer of the board game British vs. Pirates. I am going to do a playthrough, real quick one, show you guys a little bit about how the game plays, how turns look, and all of that fun stuff. So, let's check it out. I already have the game set up. I have the really cool wind vane already in the middle. It's going to go right here on the wind vane icon, which is in the center. Now, what I'm using right here, just because of my table size, I've only got 2 sea tiles set up, but it comes with 6. Okay, that's a lot of sea tiles. I have the British on one side, Pirates on the other side. I got the rule book right here, everything that you need to know about how the game's set up. This is what I'm talking about. You're gonna have the wind vane in the middle, 2 sea tiles on the other side. You're also going to do other configurations with more players and whatnot. There is some assembly required right there into that. The ship and the base are going to be separate. A little glue, anything will do. I mean, if you want to get bubble gum and like slap it to the bottom end of the ship and press down on the base, maybe that might work too. I wouldn't suggest it, but you can use any kind of glue. Ship cards, captain cards, skill cards. There's 4 different types of skill cards. You have green, which will be speed, yellow is defense, red is attack, and 4 is like a special card, which is like wind or group style skill cards. Movement actions, attack actions. Moving's real simple. You have your hexagon, your ship moves forward, right? And then it'll pivot within the space. And all those stats are on the ship card itself. Firing arcs, pretty simple. Cannon shoot out of the side of the ship, right? And it's measured from the center of your ship to the center of the target ship. So for instance, like right here, that island is blocking those 2 ships from being shot at in this example. Other attack actions like targeting a specific side of a ship. Cannons, your cannon stats, which again, they're on your skill cards, or I'm sorry, they're on your ship cards. How to receive damage, and yes, there's even boarding. Everyone loves boarding. All that information is on your captain card. So, I think that is it. We got the game set up, we got your turns, start and play. Probably not going to need this. As the designer of the game, I hopefully know how to play it. So, let's see if we can get the rocking and rolling and send a ship to the crushing depths. We have the ship card set up, I have the captain card set up, I have the sea tile set up, I have the wind vane in the center set up, I have the miniatures. Don't mock my paint job, right? So how it's going to work is we're going to set up each Pirates on that side, British on this side. We're going to set up each miniature ship on either side. We have the dice placed right over, and let me show you. So these are ship cards. And what you do is you place the 6-sided die, which will come included in the game. You place them on all 5 spots. As they take damage, you rotate those die numbers down, and then once the die can't rotate any further down, you remove it, and then you have a unique type of damage. For each side of the ship, you have different type of penalties that the ship's gonna take. So, here's another captain card. You're gonna place the same thing. Put a 6-sided die right here, rotate it down. It's gonna be your crew morale though. For boarding actions, you have your boarding action information right there, and then you have special sort of ship preference bonuses that you're going to get if you're sailing that type of ship, a frigate or a sloop. Really cool. Let's move on. So right here what we have is we have the HMS Nicola, which is a line ship. That is going to be the British side. And Admiral Bowery, he does have a bonus, a +1 accuracy bonus for sailing a line ship. His crew morale will start at 5. On that side we have a galleon, the Deceitful, and then the captain is Captain Gorgon. He doesn't have any galleon sort of perks for him. His crew morale will also start at 5. Slap that bad boy right there and we're ready to go. First thing we're going to do is draw 3 skill cards for each ship. Now these are to remain concealed whenever you're playing against your opponent. They're kind of like aha, I gotcha cards. See right here, we actually got a good one. Ooh, we got a wind change too, which is very cool. Cannon accuracy, if the target ship is within 2, you get +1 cannon accuracy, and it costs 2 crew morale to execute. Very cool. We're going to leave that face up just so you can see it. The British shall get 3 skill cards as well. This one is a +2 pivot, and again, remember the red ones are combat oriented, and green are like sort of movement help ones. So really gnarly. Let's get rocking and rolling. I'm gonna leave that face up as well. Each side rolls a die. High number gets to choose either to go first or choose the wind. And we'll just say the pirate wants to go first, and the salty Royal Navy, they get to choose the wind. This wind angle is actually pretty good for this ship. The wind coming towards the back is probably the best option for this ship as far as movement concerned. It can move pretty much 2 spaces in any direction except for upwind. The pirate galleon is terrible upwind. We'll just play and go from there. When it's the beginning of your turn, you want to rotate your crew morale up 1. However, you can't exceed the maximum die number that is printed. In this case, 5 is the max that Captain Gorgon can rotate his to, so it's already maxed out. The next thing you want to do is replenish any skill cards to a maximum of 3. We already have 3 skill cards for both. They haven't used any skill cards, so it just goes on to either moving or attacking. And you can't attack because you're so far away. The galleon has a range of 4. It's terrible at 4, but it can shoot at 4, and the line ship has a range of 4 also, and that is actually its sweet spot for attacking ships. Looking at the wind, it's very appalling. That is hitting the right front part of the galleon, which allows it to move 2. So we're going to go ahead and, you know what, I think we have a wind change card, and I believe we are going to use it. This cost 0 to execute. Put that over there, and we're going to change the wind direction and give our galleon a little bit better wind to move forward. Angle of which way the wind is going is this way, which means it's hitting the back left side of the galleon, allowing it to move 3. The galleon also has a pivot of 1. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and we will pivot. And there we go, and that concludes the pirate's turn. Now, let's go on to the filthy Royal Navy. They have the same options. They have to rotate their die up. They haven't used any of it. They have to replenish any skill cards. They haven't used any of it. So they just can go ahead and move. Now, given this wind angle, he only can move 1. So we're just going to go ahead and move 1, and that concludes his turn. Pirate's turn. Again, replenish. And this is the skill card that he got. It is a pivot card. Might be useful, might not be. We'll see. I've noticed whenever I have pivot cards, they're really helpful whenever you're getting ganged up on by a couple of other ships and you really need to get out of a tight spot and just bolt. Looking at the wind angle, it's going right to the stern of the boat. That gives it +2. 1, 2. That concludes its turn, and we're going to go on to the British. British haven't used any skill cards. They haven't used any crew morale, so everything is good to go. Now, what you can do is you can pivot first, and then that changes your initial movement wind reaction. So again, the wind hitting the front of the ship allows it to move 1. But if he rotates, looking at your card, you can now move 2. He's going to go 1, 2. Now, a little fun disclaimer is you can't rotate, move, and then rotate. And you also cannot shoot, shoot, or move, shoot, move. You have to complete an action, and then you can move on to the other action. We're going to move on to the pirate's turn. We're starting to get in a little bit of range here, looking at the firing arcs of these ships. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not exactly in the firing arcs of the galleon, but with a little luck, I think the HMS Niccolo is probably going to want to take some shots here in a little bit because it's going to do really well at distance. Pirate Galleon is going to want to fight a little bit up close because it has better accuracy and more dice to roll whenever it gets up close. Pirate's turn, and this is where a little bit of strategy comes in. Let's think. We're going to want to get in close. We can move 2, which if we were to, we'd go 1, 2 right there, and then we can pivot 1. Ooh, that is a tough one. Yeah, we're going to do that. What do you guys think? Should we do that? We're doing that. So we're going to pivot right there. Let's count it out. Here's the firing arc of the ship. It's allowed 4 spaces out to shoot. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Anything within this sort of cone firing arc, cannons are attached to the side of the ship, it can shoot at. Now again, its better accuracy is going to be 1 or 2 spaces. 1 space preferably. So we're going to just go ahead and give that a shot and see what we got. Looking at the stats, first we should look at our skill cards. let's see. Can't use a pivot. It doesn't really help much right now. Crew morale, we haven't consumed any. This one's kind of cool. If your cannon accuracy, +1 cannon accuracy, if your target ship is within 2 spaces. Well, it's not exactly within 2 because it's within 3. So we can't use any of that stuff just yet. The target ship, the line ship, is being attacked. Can or does the British player have any defense cards? No, because they would be yellow, and these are certainly not yellow. These are attack and a movement. Also, at any time you can discard a card prior to your turn, and then at the beginning of your turn you can go ahead and draw a new one. So if you don't think you're going to use a card, you can just go ahead and discard it. That aside, let's go ahead and fire away. Looking at our stats, 3 spaces away, the pirate ship gets 1 12-sided die. And this is where the fun part gets. I can shoot either that front right side or the bow of the ship. Looking at the British ship, I have to beat a 3 plus a 4, which equals 7. So I gotta roll this plus my 1 and try to beat 7. 7 or higher and I strike a hit. 5 plus my 1 equals 6 and no dice. No damage taken, and now it is the British turn. The British's ship doesn't need to bump up its crew morale. It already has a full stock of skill cards. So prior to moving, what you should do is look at your skill cards. I got +1 accuracy if the target ship is 3 or more spaces away. So again, the British ships are going to want to fight at distance. Upon 1 successful cannon hit, you deal 1 additional damage. Certainly going to use that. And let's see if I can maneuver my boat to get 3 or more spaces out. Alright, so let's see if we can do that. Given the wind, it is appalling for this boat, but it's okay. We're going to see if we can make something happen. And also, I might end up wanting to use a pivot. Let's give it a shot. So I'm allowed 1 pivot, because that's what this ship is allowed. However, I'm going to consume this, which takes up 2, 5, 4, 3. So now I'm down to 3 crew morale. And I can do an additional 2 pivot. I don't have to do all of them, but I'm going to do that many, and I'm going to scoot a little bit further away. Now, so consume that card. I still have these 2 cards, and I have 3 crew morale left. What should we do? 1, 2, 3. We're still 3 spaces away, but we're in a good position. You know, let's just use this overloaded shot. That is upon a successful cannon hit, I deal an additional damage. I'm going to play that right now. And my 3 goes to a 2 on my crew morale. Here we go. We're 1, 2, 3 spaces away. How many dice do we get? I get 3 dice with a +1 bonus. Alright, and what I'm going to be hitting, because I only can really see this side of the ship right here, I am going to have to beat a 10. I really got to roll some magnificent numbers here. Let's see if we can do this. Absolutely appalling. But I get my bonuses, so I got my +1 cannon accuracy. That's not going to beat 10. That equals 4. Same thing here. That equals 4. It's not going to do it. 7. Where is it? I got a 7, and then plus my 1 equals 8. So no dice. Nothing happened. Pirate's turn. Ooh, I'm going to use the pivot card. Shouldn't I? Shall I use the pivot card? I want to get in close to about 2 spaces away. So how can I move to get in close within 2 spaces away and then also have firing arcs? I don't see that happening, not in this turn. But what I can do, and here's where a little bit of strategy comes in, I can use a skill card, move in really close, and then just not shoot this time, but next time I will hopefully be able to get some firing arcs. So we're going to do that now. So my 5 goes to 3, I can rotate the 1 I'm allowed, and then the extra 1. Now, given the wind, I am allowed to move 3 spaces. I only need to move 2, really. 1, 2. And actually, this is a good segue because, so I consume that. I consume crew morale. I can't shoot. That concludes that. We're going to go ahead and move to the British side. Remember, the British only has 1 skill card. First thing we do, replenish said skill cards. And we have some really good stuff here. Movement card, and then another damage card. Upon a successful cannon hit, all enemy ships within 1 space of the target ship receive destruction damage. This card is cool. It's more of a group style card. So if you're playing with your friends, or if you're playing with more than 1 ship, this would be real handy. It doesn't really apply to this, but I mean, it's still gonna strike a structure on the target ship. That's good to know. Also, we get one more crew morale. It goes from 2 to 3. Alright. Where are we at? We are nose into the wind. We're going to have the guys run out the oars, do whatever they got to do to move forward. What we ought to do then is, I think all we really can do with a pivot of 1, we can't really rotate and stretch out the battle. Move forward 1, rotate 1. 3 crew morale. Now because the 6-sided dice can't go down to 0, I only can use 2 crew morale for now. I can't even use that because that is too far away. This one would be cool to use, and next turn I certainly will use this one. But we're 2 spaces away. Why not? Let's do a little bit of broadside swapping. So I got my 2 dice, 2 spaces away, 2 dice. I have no accuracy bonus, and I'm going to be shooting the front of the galleon, which I have to beat a 7. Oh my Lanta, look at that, folks. You can't write this stuff. Look at that, I 2 and a 1. I'm not even going to do the addition. Moving on. That makes it the pirates' turn, and their crew morale gets to get bumped up 1 to 4. They have 2 skill cards, so they can replenish 1. And ooh, another damage 1. Upon a successful cannon hit, the target ship's crew morale becomes 1. This is actually really cool. This is like a crew morale drain sink. And what you want to do is maybe even wait till this crew morale becomes like a 4 or 5. And then you can just drain it with that. Why not do it now, I say. Alright, so let's move. We really don't got to count it. Every ship is always going to have a minimum movement of 1. So we're just going to move up 1. You know, no, let's move 2. Let's move 2. And then I'm going to pivot 1. The line ship is still within the firing arc. And I'm going to be shooting the weakest part of the ship, which is its stern. And that is 6. I have to beat a 6. I am going to use that card. So this 4 becomes a 3. The crew morale, I whipped them. I beat them ferociously and said, we are going to perform a very daunting task. Firing a broadside right up the stern. I have 3 dice because I'm allowed 3 dice. I get a +3 bonus to my dice, which is really cool. And all I got to do is beat a 6. And I'm going to be using that skill card. And ladies and gentlemen, they are all hits. Even without the bonuses. Look at that, a 12, a mighty 12. Alright, so I used crew morale to perform this action. Upon 1 successful cannon hit, the target ship's crew morale becomes a 1. Look at this. 3, 2, 1. I think the officers upon that line ship are floundering. Also, I do 3 damage to the stern of the ship. The stern is right here. Here's 3, 2, 1. That's 3. Boom, it's gone. What's that mean? So the penalty for the stern of the ship says its pivot is reduced to 1. Now, that really doesn't affect this ship because it's already at 1, which is cool for line ships. But however, what it does do is open up the stern of the boat, be able to blast the structure of the ship. How this works is once the structure of the ship becomes completely destroyed, that means the 6 goes to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, boom, it is sunk. The stern is exposed for absolute mayhem and destruction. Now it's the British turn to rally and try to sally forth some sort of something out of this. So they're in a real bad place. Let's look at our skill card. We've got a +2 ship speed. I think that's going to be very helpful to get some distance away from the pirate ship. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to pivot 1. Given the wind, allowed to move 2 because it's going in a this way direction. And then also his ship preference bonus allows him, oh, that's a +1 accuracy. I could have used that. It wouldn't have helped on the previous hits because it weren't that close, but I gotta remember that. That's a +1 accuracy. I'm allowed to move 2, but I will bump my crew morale up 1 because it's the start of my turn. And now let's finish our movements. Of 1, 2. I don't have any firing arcs for the galleon. With a little bit of luck, on the next turn we will we'll get some firing arcs and then we'll retaliate with fearsome force and salty vengeance. Alright, let's move on to the pirates' turn. First thing they do is bump the crew morale up 1, 2, 4, and they have 2 skill cards, meaning they get to draw 1 more. Ooh, another pivot card. I'm going to use this now. It gives me +2 crew morale. And it costs me no crew morale to use. So I'm going to use that for 5. It maxes my crew morale up at 5. I'm going to go ahead and rotate, or I should say pivot, and then move. And then I'm still within firing arcs now. Oh, this is too good to be true. I'm going to use this card as well. Basic gunnery. +1 cannon accuracy if the target ship is within 2. 1, 2. Using it takes 2 crew morale, so that 5 becomes a 3. And let's start throwing some dice. Alright, so we're 2 spaces away, which gives me 2 dice. And I get a +2 bonus for accuracy, and then I get a +1 bonus. So that's a +3. I'm shooting the stern of the ship. So the stern of the ship is already blown off, so I'm just shooting the structure. All I gotta do is beat 6s. I already have +3s. Let's fire away. And all I have to do is beat 6s, and I got a mighty 12 and a 6. Yeah, those are hits. And we're hitting the good stuff here. This is the center of the ship. So that 6, 5, where's the 4? There it is. So it is down to 4. The structure of the line ship is down to 4, and we haven't even scratched the filthy, deceitful galleon. The British bumped the crew morale up to 3. Boom. Already have skill cards. Ready. Given this wind angle, we can move 2. I don't think we need this just yet. And actually, I'm going to discard this because I don't think we're going to need it anytime soon. I will, however, use this. Basic gunnery. +1 cannon accuracy if the target ship is 3 or more spaces away. Using it. Here we go. Let's move first. 1, 2, and then a pivot. And then 4 spaces away is the sweet spot for the line ship. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. There we go. We're golden. We're going to use that. That bumps it down to 1. And let's start throwing some dice. Now, finally, the English can retaliate. They have 3 dice at this distance, and then a +3 bonus at this distance. And then they also get a +1 accuracy, so that's a +4 bonus. And they're going to be shooting the left side, and they have to be 10s. So here we go. 4 plus whatever roll. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, they must have drinking their slog. These are killer rolls. They're all hits. Remember, a tie or better for the attacker is a hit. So that's 3 hits to the left side or the port side of the pirate ship. 5, 4, 3, 2. So now, the next time we shoot that left side, we only have to beat a 7. Do you see how it sort of deteriorates? Really cool stuff. Alright, a little bit of justice for blowing away the structure. The pirate's turn. We have 1 skill card, replenish these skill cards. We got more speed cards and more cannon cards. I'm feeling pretty good right now. What should we do? Should we rotate and charge them? We can't get that close, we only can move 2. So we're gonna move 1, and then 1, 2, and then let's go ahead and use this. I forgot to bump my crew morale up 1 to 4. So it's 4, but then I'm gonna use this card which consumes 1. Back down, so I get 1 more movement forward, and I'm right on top of them again. I do not have any firing arcs on the British ship, but what I do have is the ability to furiously board them once again. So let's try this. Each captain gets a die, they roll it. A 1. I don't know what the bosun is doing on the British ship, but he is saying absolutely not, my good sir, to boarding. But wait a second, he also rolled a 1. So here's what happens. This is unbelievable. So you get your 1 plus your crew morale is 3. So that's 4 plus my grapple of 1 is 5. So the pirates have 5. The British have 1 plus the crew morale of 1, 3. So actually, this is a success for the pirate captain. He successfully boarded the British ship. What happens now? The British ship's crew morale becomes 1. It's already 1. No big deal. But here's the kicker. Their structure, which is the almighty structure, goes from 4 to 3. So you take 1 structure down. Boarding is actually pretty effective. Concludes the pirate turn, British turn. We have 1 skill card. Let's go ahead and replenish these skill cards, and while we're at it, give ourselves a crew morale boost. What do we got here? We got a wind change, we got a pivot, and we still have our successful cannon hit, but we can't seem to use this because it requires crew morale, and the pirates are absolutely devastating us on our decks with their spiky cutlasses and grapple lines. Given the ships and their direction and the wind, the line ship can move 2. Yes, I think it's going to do it. It's going to go up 1, 2, and then pivot 1, and then blast away at 2. You know what? We've already worked on that left side of the ship, of the pirate ship. Let's shoot it again. So we're 3 spaces away. 1, 2, 3. Boom. I get 3 dice for being 3 spaces away with a +1 accuracy, and I'm shooting the port side of the pirate ship. I gotta beat 7s. Here we go. Let's see what we can do. We got 8s, 3 and a 2, plus my 1. So this is certainly a hit. So it's 1 hit. What we did do is take 1 damage off the side, the port side of the pirate ship. That concludes that. Let's go ahead and move to the pirate side and then get skill card. Oh, we got a grapple card. We got a grapple card and a wind change card. Playtesters say they wanted more wind change cards. Ask and you shall receive. Gets crazy. Let's give our crew morale a boost. They've been good jolly sailors for us. We're gonna move forward 1 and give a healthy broadside to the port side of the line ship. So we're 2 spaces away. That calls for 2 dice and a +2 bonus accuracy. Not going to use any skill card. Who am I kidding? Yes, I am. I'm going to use improved gunnery, +2 cannon accuracy if the target ship is within 2 spaces. Let's do that. 4 becomes a 1 on my crew morale, and I get +2 cannon accuracy. Here we go, here we go. We got to beat a healthy 11. This is going to be difficult. We got a 5 and a 3. 8, 9. No, neither of them hit. The pirates are starting to waver. They just swung and a miss on nothing. They couldn't even scratch the paint of the almighty line ship. Alright, now it is the pirates' turn. I'm sorry, the British turn. They get 1 skill card. Crew morale gets boosted up 1. Ooh, look at that. I couldn't ask for anything better of a card right now, so we're certainly going to consume that right now. 2 crew morale. This 3 becomes 2. I'm sorry, 1. And what happens here? Our structure, it gets bumped up from 3 to 4. We got the guys below deck hammering away, plugging those leaks. Alright. I'm going to use this wind change card strategically. Watch. I am allowed to move 2, and I shall. 1, 2, and I can pivot 1. Now I'm going to do a wind change. So that means it's going to make it more difficult for the pirate ship to close the distance and get on top of me. So we're going to fire away at that left side. The galleon keeps showing its left side. I say why not? And here we go. All we got to do is beat a 6. We get 3 dice plus 1 bonus. All we got to do is beat a 6. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have a winner. Look at that. We got a 10, a 9, and a 3. So miss, hit, 2 damages. So that's 1 damage, gone, and then now this 6 becomes a 5. So it looks like the tides are ever so slightly turning. The pirate ship structure is now at 5, and the HMS line ship is now at 4. Oh, by the way, the pirate ship left side, its port guns can no longer shoot. Spyglass. +3 cannon accuracy. If the target ship is within 2 spaces. Let's see if we can get within 2 spaces. I don't think we're going to be able to this turn because I only can pivot 1 and, well, I can move 2. 1, 2. I think we have a problem. I discarded those pivot cards in the pack. I probably should have maybe held on to one because this is going to be tough. I can't rotate more than 1 right now, so that left side, the port side, is going to be exposed for for the foreseeable future. That concludes that turn. They can't even fire. Look at them. They're pretty much floating on timber on that side, and all the guns are just poured over the side along with the barrels of rum and ill-gotten goods that I'm sure were British turn. Crew morale boost to 2. Get ourselves some more skill cards. Ooh, +3 bow and stern defense roll. So next time he shoots my bow or stern, I'm gonna get a bonus to that. Let's go ahead and move. We're gonna move 1, and given this 1, we actually can move 2. We're gonna move 2 and then do a nice healthy rotate, and we are in the sweet spot again. Line ship is gonna fire away at the galleon with 3 dice with +3 accuracy into the mouth of the galleon that's being held together by bubblegum and shoestrings. So here we go. All we got to do is beat a 5. I mean, this is insane. 5, that's a hit. 8, that's a hit. Oh, this doesn't look good. And this is a 2 plus my 3 equals 5. And then I forgot to add this last time, but I'm going to do it this time. +1 accuracy because I'm sailing a line ship with Admiral Bowry. So that's 6. So that's 3 hits. So this 5, 4, 3, 2. I really thought the English ship was going to be sent to Davy Jones' locker, but change of luck. Alright, that concludes the British turn. Pirates turn. Pirate skill cards. Looks like their chances of success are dwindling. The stern of the line ship is blown away. The port side of the pirate ship is blown away. It is the pirate ship's turn. Looking back, man, does it wish it held on to those pivot cards that we discarded. They don't need any skill cards. They have all the ones they need. We're going to go ahead and rotate their crew morale up. There's not going to be much here to do other than try to show the other side so we can fire some broadsides up. We're allowed to pivot 1. Generally speaking, the stern is going to be a little bit weaker than any other part of the ship. However, on this ship, the galleon, the stern, they beefed it up. They've thrown some extra planks up there, and the stern of that boat is actually pretty healthy. I think that's all it really can do right now. We could do a wind change. Yeah, we're going to do a wind change. We're going to wind change. We're going to change it up. You think that's a good idea? I think it's a good idea. Let's change the wind. Pirate turn. Done. British. Let's go. Has all the skill cards they need. I'm going to discard this because I don't think we're going to need a little bit of defense. We want a little bit more offense. Crew morale, bump it up 1 to 3. And we still can't use any of the skill cards, but they will be good for future use. Given the position of the line ship shooting at the galleon, you could still blast that open exposed side. So actually, we may have completed this. I could still hit the port side of that ship with 3 cannons, and all I have to do is beat that 2. Well, I already have a +3, and yeah, these are all hits. We got 3 hits onto the structure of the pirate ship. It is sunk. It's sunk. The winner, by true knockout fashion, is the heavy line ship. I didn't see it coming. I really thought that the British ship was going to be going down. Look at it. It had no stern, and it was completely exposed to be shot at. But that's how this game works. It really can, the tides can change really quickly, especially if you have a bunch of ships out there. You can just knock a boat out real quick. We didn't even get to use all of our skill cards. We still have a ton of skill cards we could use. I mean, like, look at that. All this fun stuff we could be using, but we don't need it because the pirate ship is sunk. I hope that was a really good how things play. Like I said, it's scalable. You put 3 ships on one side, 3 ships on the other side. Whether you're 2-player or whether you're 6 players, it doesn't matter. You can play a whole bunch of different beautifully illustrated ship cards. With all these different stats, they play differently. A sloop is going to play significantly different than to a line ship. A line ship is the biggest boat in the game. It's going to play a lot different than a sloop, and then a frigate, then a galleon, then even a Xebec. Where's the Xebec at? I just saw it. This is a kind of a specialty boat. This thing can fly upwind. Look at those stats. That's it going upwind. It can move 3. Probably one of the fastest boats in the game, just short of those sloops that are really fast. But a lot of fun, man. I really can't wait to get like 6 people playing it again. Actually tonight we're going to be doing game night at my house. We're going to be doing this game, believe it or not. And yeah, we're going to play, swap some broadsides. Anyways, I hope you got a really good understanding of how this game plays. We got lots of captain cards too, with variations, grapple skills, ship preference bonus, morale. I really hope you enjoyed it. I should probably do another, and I might do another play test with a bunch more ships. I'll probably do like a 3v3, and that will full broad stroke of the game. Anyways, that is a playthrough of British vs. Pirates, the ship combat game. Thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate your guys' support, especially to the backers out there. Thank you for backing this game. And yeah, let's get this into your gaming table and let's start playing it with some of your friends. Thanks a lot. I'll see you guys next time on the high seas.